What is up, guys and gals? My name is Splattercat, and we are here today taking a look at Redshirt, a game by The Tiniest Shark, which is a life management simulator that's run through a Facebook-like interface. It's got tongue-in-cheek humor, it's got definite self-awareness with regards to like pop culture and things of that nature, and I think there's a lot here to like, so we're gonna go ahead and do a review of it today along with its pros and cons. I'm gonna jump straight into a new game to kind of show you how the whole thing functions, and at the end we'll cover all the variable basics that you really want to know before you jump in and purchase Redshirt. So without further ado, let's make our Spacebook profile. In our new game, we get to choose ourselves. Oh, it looks like we've got 5 species that we can choose from. We got human, W.I.N, which is your green-skinned ladies. Got to watch out, otherwise Captain Kirk will be around to mate with you. We've got the Geldar, which are essentially like your Vulcans or maybe like Romulans or something of that nature. You got Emoids, which I think are kind of androids. They're like Data. Essentially, I believe that they are androids of a certain sense. I'm not really sure though. There's not a whole lot of explanation there. And then the Gzik, which are these weird octopoid creatures that nobody cares about because they have 8 legs, and if there's anything the real world has taught me, it's that things with 8 legs get stepped on. I'm gonna make myself a Geldar. We're gonna go with a male Geldar, and you know what? They actually got all my facial settings perfectly fine right now. I'm gonna swap out the shirt style though, because there it is, right? That is the shirt right there. That is the shirt that commands respect. Why? It's got a turtleneck. That's exactly what does it. It's the turtleneck and the collar. You don't see nearly enough turtleneck collar combinations in modern fashion. I don't know what it is about the turtleneck collar combo. It just says, respect me. Right now, you have no choice. Facial tech, I'm gonna give myself some badass shades. I think oop, I swapped my shirt style again. With our shirt color, I'm gonna go for a science officer, because this game is loosely based, well, pretty heavily based off Star Trek, actually. While I'm on the subject, hairstyle we can't change as a Geldar, hair color we can't change as a Geldar. Pretty much all Geldar more or less look alike. That doesn't make me a space racist. It's actually a function of the game. You're not allowed to change the way you look much. Now then, we can go in, and I'm gonna say that we're interested in the females. I'm gonna leave my character as a male. We gotta give ourselves a name. I'm gonna go with Logarithmic Lou. Hold on, there we go, Logarithmic Lou. I'm gonna use my first name as a title. It's one of those things that I may try with my firstborn child. I haven't completely and totally decided yet. I wanna use like his first name as a title, or her first name as a title, and then the second one will be his or her actual name. Tell me about yourself. Bring forth your space kush. There we are. Definitely that's how you get a job right there. If you ever have a prospective employer, make sure that you always talk about how much you like to imbibe on your Facebook page, because I've heard that makes people hire you more. Create profile. Now right here, our profile is now created, and this is basically setting up the game world in which we're going to be playing. We can choose how much bigotry, how much chattiness, how much fickleness. Essentially, these are all evened out, so if I raise one of these right here, the rest will go down, so that everything remains kind of even keel. You can't max out fickleness and max out bigotry. Essentially, when it randomly generates the characters, this is how it decides what their personalities will be. I'm going to leave everything on the default as it is. Away missions. Away missions randomly crop up, and it's where your commander just sends you to a planet to do something, and it usually ends terribly with like everybody dying, and there's just blood all over the place. You get post-traumatic stress syndrome. It gets really, really bad. The Holodoctor setting. I'm not sure what the Holodoctor... Oh, I've never gotten sick. So I've played the game about 10 hours, and I've never gotten sick, so that's why I don't know what the Holodoctor does. Apparently, you don't go to the Holodoctor if you don't get sick. I'll kind of go even with you. I beat this game pretty much on my first way through, so, you know, there's probably things I didn't experience. Let's go ahead and join the station, because I want to show as much as I can in the 30 minutes that we have to check the game out. I always try and keep these weekly indie newcomers to about 30 minutes, otherwise YouTube likes to penalize you. YouTube, not a fan of long videos. It's one of those strange things that kind of forces your hand as a content creator. We're gonna skip that. And so this is the... Hey, stop that. Stop that right now. Too many tutorials. Back off. Alright, so let's talk about the game. If you're wondering if it's going to get any more action-packed than this, it is not. This is the game right here. The entire game is run from this faux Facebook, I guess, interface. Now, the first thing we need to do is take a look at all the various things that you want to pay attention to as you play through the game. The things that really kind of define this game as its own character. So right here we've got our credits. Down here in the bottom right corner is essentially all the things that you need to know about Logarithmic Lou. Is definitely a nobody. So right now we don't have any social contacts, we don't know anybody, we don't have any friends, we do a terrible job. If we look at our career, our job is to clean up the mess when the transporter has malfunctions. So we basically spend our days cleaning up the viscera, or the viscera if you wanted to be totally dramatic about it. Credits, that's how much money we have, obviously. Our career rank, every time you rise at a career and you get promoted, you get a career point. Charisma, you get charisma for every action that ends positively. So let's say somebody dislikes a Facebook post or unlikes a Facebook post that you make, you lose charisma. Or if you do something stupid at work, you lose charisma. Essentially, charisma is the one thing you want to pay attention to. It levels up the quickest. Consider this to be your character level. Over here on the right is your total rank. Well, I suppose this would be your character level, whatever. Charisma is more important though. Your total rank is your career rank plus your charisma rank. This number right here dictates who you can be friends with, who wants to associate with you. The higher this number is, the more popular you are. So as this goes up to like, you know, really, really high numbers like 15 and 16, you essentially become a celebrity on your own battle station. And as you become a celebrity, it makes it easier and easier to make friends through Facebook. The next most important thing you want to know is your overall health and mental status. This right here is your happiness. We've started out very unhappy, which is a little bit disappointing, but it's okay. We'll fix that up in just a minute. If you get too low on happiness, people don't want to be around you, you're a general grump, you end up being depressed, you try and phaser yourself out. In any case, it's not a good thing to be depressed in this game. Sickness and health is the next bar below that. As that goes up, you become more physically fit, and the lower it is, it means you've been eating too much fast food. Literally, I'm not lying right there. I'm not trying to be facetious. If you eat too much fast food, this goes way down to the bottom. Your physical health dictates how well you do on away missions and several other important events that'll occur throughout the course of the game. If you're really, really healthy, you are more likely to survive. This right here is how many actions you have in a day. Actions are things such as liking a post, posting on somebody's wall, coordinating an event with all of your friends like going out to the movies, or just kind of diddling around and studying. Everything costs an action, so each day is divided up into a number of actions. The other things we want to look at, your inventory and the shop. So the inventory is the stuff you have on hand. Sometimes, like for example, we have a turbo mop right here, which increases your happiness. We could also get something like the RoboCat, which gives us happiness each day. It also teaches us how to work with animals. It gives us a reassuring voice skill. It also increases our knowledge of health and safety each day. Kind of a cool item to have. I used that one all the way from the beginning into endgame the last time I played through. Skills and interests. This is where everything plays in with making friends. So skills, these are actual applicable things that you know how to do. You put these on your resume when you try and increase your career rank. So as you go through the game, you're going to have certain prerequisite levels of different things. You have everything from assertiveness, social skills, to things like station schematics, schmoozing, your ability to seduce people, public speaking, people management. There's engineering, there's your ability to do tedious paperwork. Essentially everything you could ever want in your career is right here. And so there are various things. If you go back to Spacebook, how I said you coordinate events, when you coordinate events, it increases your interests and according skills. So when you go on, like, let's say we go out and we hang out at a droid bar or something, we might get a level in droid drama, which means later on if we ever get a job as a droid technician, that's going to help us out. So just things to be aware of as you play through the game. Additionally, certain people want to be friends with you based on your skills. So let's say that you're an engineer. Like once you get up to like level 7 engineer, chances are in your job everybody else you know is going to be an engineer. And so it increases the chances that you could have like study groups and things like that to make your skills even better. Interests. Interests are a little bit different. Interests are essentially your hobbies, the things that you really, really like in life, and you can only have 3 of these at a time. So I'll explain this. Let's say we go and we do something that makes us self-indulgent, and that's the only thing we've done in the game so far. We will have a 100% interest in self-indulgence. Let's say we do something self-indulgent, we go to a show, and we play some music. We'll have 33%, 33%, and 33%. And so as you can see, the further into your game you go, the harder it is to shift your interests. Now, with the interests, why do you need those? Well, for some high-level jobs, you need to be interested in the right things. So let's say that you're really, really into programming video games in here, or you're really into like technology and programming. Games might become an interest for later, or Terran Hala nostalgia might become an interest that's required in order for you to do your job properly. So you want to be careful with these, and you need these because people won't make friends with you unless you have common interests, or if your personality rank is way, way higher than yours, or I'm sorry, your personality rank is way, way higher than theirs, or if you just are really, really friendly with them. That's the 3 ways you can go to get somebody to be your friend. Career rank. Right now, we are a transporter accident cleanup technician. Every day that you work, you gain XP towards that job. Once it's mastered, you typically get some kind of bonus. Or once you've mastered a job, it'll allow you to jump up to the next one in the chain a little bit easier. Opening the career tree, this is all of the jobs that we have right here. And you're really trying to get to commander's assistant. I think I made it up to like fleet AI resource. I think I made it up to here or here in my last playthrough before I started focusing on other things. But when you get new jobs, it allows you to make more money. In addition, each job has skills that it teaches you as you go along, and so they'll have prerequisites. So once you're a maintenance tube wrangler, it'll teach you engineering and things of that nature that'll probably make it a little bit easier to jump into the next engineering job. However, that's not always the case. Sometimes you'll have to ping pong around in order to get the skills you need efficiently to get the job you want. You also have the hiring managers right here. The hiring manager is the person you want to schmooze if you're looking to get into that job. So you probably want to make friends with them, take them out to dinner, hang out with them a lot. And if they're racists, well, kiss that career goodbye, because it becomes very, very difficult to convince a racist that they should give a job to somebody who's not of their particular race. Now then, let's go to Spacebook, and I feel like we covered everything pretty rapidly, so we may get to play the game for a little while before I break this off. Let's play the game. So the first thing we want to do is we have a friend request, and that's from Astra. So if we click on that, we can see her interests right here. We can also see that she's interested in men, she's single, she's 38, so she's quite a bit older than us. We're 20. We're doing like an Ashton Kutcher type thing right here. We got like an Ashton Demi Moore thing if we ever ended up dating her. Oh, aspirations, that's right. So aspirations, I forgot to talk about those. Aspirations are the one thing I didn't discuss. Aspirations are basically just random missions that the game gives you. Sort of like, I think they have something similar in The Sims where they're like, get a promotion and you'll get some kind of monetary bonus or anything. These aspirations, as you see, if you complete them, you get skill bonuses, and that's actually quite a bit of XP for a skill. You get happiness, so essentially the happiness scale only encompasses 200 points, so a plus 60 really is a lot of happiness to gain from winning. Let's go ahead and make friends with her. And so we've completed our aspiration, and the game is going to assign us a new one. The next one that it's given us is to get 4 likes on any status. I played all the way into the end game and still wasn't able to get that done. And what we want to do now is we want to solidify this. So our relationship with her is at 10, which means she's friendly. Her little bar right there, if you just want to eyeball it, that little bar's color tells you how much they like you. We'll go and we'll like the post that we made friends with her, and what you'll see right here is we get +5 to our charisma score, which is very, very good because we want to start leveling that up as rapidly as we can. With 2 actions remaining for the day, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start charting out my career path. Opening up the career tree, we notice that we're going to need a couple different things in order for us to get further on down the chain. I think I'm going to go for an engineering career in this playthrough, and so what we need for that is we need a basic skill in station schematics, and we also need 2 levels in basic engineering. We'll keep an eye out for those in just a little bit. Luckily, the job that we do have right now is giving us those, so we should be able to do it pretty quickly. The station schematics we can get elsewhere, so we'll kind of look out for those. Other things we want to do is maybe see if we can get an event going by clicking this little tab right here to give ourselves some interests, because if you go up to this top right here and you look at Logarithmic Lou, he has no interests. We have 0 interests at the moment. But in order to do that, we want to be a little bit crafty. Let's look at Astra's friends, and if we look at all of her other friends, we want to find the thing that they have in common. Like, what do they all like? We have games, quiet time, we have parties, and so we've actually got a pretty diverse group right here. However, a couple of them are into quiet time. So let's go ahead and get ourselves an interesting quiet time. We're going to do a solo event, and what we're going to do is we're going to stare into space, which isn't really the best way to waste your time. Maybe there's a better version of this. So we have Solar Solitaire. That'll give us a -12 to happiness, but at the same time, it'll give us skills and tedious paperwork. It'll also give us an increase in games and quiet time. I did notice that a person in here was into games, so that means we'll be able to request 3 people to be our friends if we do this one. So let's do it. This right here is the activities interface, and it tells you the outcomes of whatever you were doing. Now, there are special outcomes that you will get from time to time. It'll be written in pink text. It'll be anything from you making yourself look stupid to you doing whatever the activity was very, very well. If you do the activity incredibly well, you'll get bonuses. If you screw up, obviously you'll get kind of minuses and your charisma will suffer. People will hate you. The sky will rain down. Chicken Little will bemoan the situation. Continuing on through, I think that's about all we're going to be able to do for today, but what I'm going to do is post on Astra's wall. No, actually, that gave us quiet time in game, so let's request a friend. Let's go to Astra's page, and we'll find her friends, and we're going to try and make some friends. Now, you see now, quiet time is now lit up because it's a common interest. So let's go ahead and we're going to ask this guy to be our friend. I don't even know what he's into, but he's into quiet time, so it appears like that's going to work. We'll add him, and tomorrow we'll find out. Now, every time you gain a friend, you do get a big boost in charisma. Plus, you can boast, as I was saying, about how many friends you have on Facebook. When we're out of actions, we click this little button right here to go to sleep.
Time for mandatory sleep.
And there it is. It'll give us a synopsis or an overview of what we did throughout the day. So we gain skills in tedious paperwork, we gain an interest in quiet time, we gain an interest in games, we got +15 to our charisma with Astra. And so that's feeling very, very cool. And now you can pay attention to how your friends are feeling too. You want to make note of that because it kind of tailors what activities they will like to do in the next day. There's also this right here. We need 2 friends to like us in order to gain charisma. And so I think we did that okay. We didn't get any bonuses from our owned items, so we'll continue on to our next day.
In a new Facebook post.
It's Thursday, February the 6th. We've been tagged in a post. It's Astra saying hi to us. I'm going to like that.
It is time for your work shift.
And we only get 1 activity before work because it is one of the 9 to 5 days. So let's go ahead and do our job as a transporter accident cleanup technician, or a TACT, as I like to call them.
Work shift.
And our outcomes. We gain all these skills, nothing terrible happens, so with all of our coworkers, we become more popular. A good day, all in all. You'll also notice that we got 10 XP in all of these different jobs. Speedy cover-ups is your ability to hide your screw-ups. Basic engineering, self-explanatory. Health and safety is your ability to know what's clean and what's not. Essentially, washing your hands after you poop, I suppose. We also gain 25 job experience and 60 credits that we can spend on whatever the hell we want.
You have been tagged in a new Facebook post.
We've been tagged in a couple of posts. Lou Logarithmic replicates the best sandwiches. They are a culinary genius. I'm going to like that post because it's absolutely true. My sandwiches are bitchin', my friend. My sandwiches are amazing. The other thing that we need to do is buy food. If you don't buy food, you see this little +2 right here? Every day that you don't eat, you lose that bonus. So let's go to our inventory. We'll browse the shop. We'll buy ourselves extraterrestrial food. And it gave us a warmed gazpacho soup, which gave us 15 physical health. So now we're feeling under the weather rather than just sick in general. With our 1 activity that's remaining, I'm probably just going to like somebody's post. I can't wait to get out of here. Yeah, you and me both. Fixing on through. I love it when you get so far ahead on paperwork that you know your next shift is going to be easy. I'm going to like that. And we got a new message from Kun Biz. And she's saying, "Good day, your antics stink as bad as a scallion swamp octopus. I hope you're happy." Oh, well, you're kind of a bitch, Kun Biz. You better watch yourself. You better watch it right now. We'll go ahead and pass that up.
Sleep.
And it looks like with everybody but Kun... Oh, never mind. Well, we got +1 with Kun Biz, even though she took a shot at us, so we'll have to be careful about her. As you can see, people will dislike you for reasons that you're not even sure why. Like, just randomly, somebody will send you a cheap shot at your appearance or something, and eventually they'll probably unfriend you, and the whole thing will snowball into a giant nasty mess. Oh, we're supposed to get romantically involved with Kun Biz. That sucks because I don't think she's interested. That could be an aspiration that never comes to fruition. It never bears fruit. Seeing at myself in the mirror with Jennifer Jepsen. I'm gonna eat breakfast first so that we don't have to do it with the rest of our day. So let's go ahead and get extraterrestrial food.
It is time.
And so now we're up to 18.
Commencing work shift.
We arrive at work feeling very unhappy. Your happiness, I forgot to mention that. Oh man, we messed up something at work. Weak. Well, your happiness affects how well you do your job. I forgot to mention that. So that's another reason to keep yourself happy. Let's go ahead and skip that obnoxious text. And special occurrence. A rescue attempt from a runabout went horribly wrong. You accidentally insulted the newly widowed survivor. You lose 5 job XP and 15 happiness. I don't see how insulting somebody else lowers my happiness. I can see that lowering their happiness, but I accidentally insult people all the time. It doesn't rain on my parade. I keep on a-truckin' because that's how we do it. Everything else went according to plan aside from that. And so now we have a romance running with Astra. Interesting. Although she's also hitting on Garth Cabrera, so I'm not sure what she wants. Garth Cabrera almost sounded... I thought it said Darth Cabrera for just a minute. I was like, that is a very, very strange name to give a... to give yourself if you're a Sith. But anyways, we're not dealing with Sith right now. Let's think about what we want to do today. I'm going to post on Facebook, so we're going to do a general post. We can click on here and post on our own wall. I'm going to do a general post and just kind of... I don't want to tag anybody. Well, never mind. Let's do a vague booking. We'll do lyrics.
Status has been updated.
Garm Corden, oh, the guy that we tried to make friends with, he said we had no common interests, but he changed his interests. Well, damn. So as you can see, everybody else is doing their own activities too. So interests are a little bit volatile in the early game. As you can see, he doesn't like us. And so we're going to have to find other people to make friends with. Let's jump on his Facebook friends, though, and we'll see if there's anybody else we want to add. So I'm going to add this Klingon-looking lady.
You have sent a friend request.
We also have Desley Brusher, which is obviously a play on Wesley Crusher. We'll do add friend, and hopefully tomorrow we'll make some friends because that would help us boost our charisma. I kind of want to do things that will make us look good in this playthrough, but as of right now, we're not off to a very good start. Let's do our mandatory sleeping.
Time for mandatory sleep.
And now that we have slept, it's the weekend. So on weekends, you get 6 actions, which means it's time to do some events. We need to shore up our happiness, so let's do some group events. And let's find something that really helps out with the happiness. We've got watch an old Terran movie. Or we can go Geldar gambling. We are a Geldar, so that might be a good idea. We can have a dinner party with real hand-prepared food. I don't have the... You have to have a prerequisite over... Oh, no, you don't. Never mind. I thought you had to have like a little stove or something that you buy from the store to do that. Well, I think I'm gonna do... Let's go with the Watch an Old Terran movie. It'll give us a new interest too, and we can select who we want to invite. Now, you can invite anybody on the space station, it doesn't matter, but you want to make sure that their interests match what you're inviting them to do. So having a look through here, it doesn't appear as though there's anybody with interest here, so we may have to swap this around. I do wish that there was a filter so that I could go through and figure out who liked stuff before we did it. This is not looking like a winning idea for me, so let's go ahead and do something else. We can do... God, people are kind of mixed up right now. We've got... I don't know, there's not a whole lot of things here that I think are going to work out for us. Let's select our invitees for that job, I guess. We'll have another look through. God, people are just not interested in anything. Ooh, she likes both, but she's busy, so we can't invite her. Appears as though everybody's busy right now. This weekend is already booked up solid. We've got quiet time with him, so we'll have Desley Brusher come with us. We'll invite one of our co-workers, why not? And that appears to be all we're going to be able to do here, so I guess we'll go ahead and create the event. Oh, it's required. You have to invite somebody else. Well, we'll invite our boss, just in case. Hey, create the event. What are you doing? Weird things are happening. I think it may have gotten stuck there for a second. In any case, it's not going to work out. Now that's grayed out. Strange enough. There we go. Alright, fantastic. I can get this to work, I swear. So we'll invite our boss. Oh, you have to check him. That's right. I've also forgotten how to play the game properly. There we go. So you have to put a little check by their names. And then people down at the bottom were interested too. So we'll have him with quiet time. Our coworker was interested. And we'll create the event. Hopefully somebody shows up. So Garth Cabrera didn't show up and we lose 10 happiness. Let's talk about quiet time. You start a conversation about quiet time. Everybody was okay with the chosen topic of conversation. It cost us 2 of our daily activities to do that. And now we'll get that. We get plus 10 with Desley Brusher. We get plus 10 with Rona Ann. So we may be able to... We came out on a net negative on our unhappiness. But we did get some more points towards our interests. And other people like us more. So we may have a new friend soon. Astra has invited us to an event. Kronkian Blood Cheese Monger. It's a restaurant. Alright, sure, let's go. We get plus 5 with Astra for going out to dinner with her. We lose health, but we gain happiness, so it was unhealthy food. It was bad for the body and good for the soul. That is good because we're really unhappy right now, so we want to make sure that we're clearing that up. With regards to events, let's see if we can do something to make us a little bit happier. We don't have any skills in schmoozing, so I don't think I'm going to do that. We'll play a Spacebook game, and we have a 70% chance of meeting somebody else. We got 1 point left anyway, so we might as well do it. We met Vriller Themain. Because we met him while we were playing a Facebook game, we get a couple points with him, which is good. We lose skills to schmoozing, but we never had any in the first place. Not a big deal. So we have the possibility of making a new friend. Let's go ahead and pass the day, and we're a little bit out of time here, but it's alright. We'll keep trucking for just a few more minutes. And in our final weekend day, what do we want to do here? Well, nobody else has done anything. Nobody's tagged us or anything of that nature, so let's set up another event. We played Moisture Farm Village. That's what we were doing. Let's visit a restaurant because we've got health, but we need happiness. So we're going to try and swap out our health for we're going to swap out our healthiness for happiness. Although we could do both right here. So let's see if we can select people to go and hang out here. They need to have interest in xenogastronomy and also an interest in fitness lifestyle. A lot of people are busy, so this may not work out the way we want it to. He likes xenogastronomy, so we'll invite him even though he's just kind of a stranger and we don't know anything about him. We'll have Vriller Themain come with us because we met him on Facebook the other night, because that's where we make most of our friends. It's a sad, sad state of affairs when all of your friends are from Facebook. And then the remainder, there's nobody else that's really interested in coming along. So I think I'm going to leave it where it's at. Nobody came, and so we got absolutely 100% skunked on that one. We lost charisma. It's weird because we did have interest there, but that's what happens when you invite total and complete strangers. God, that's brutal. Kunbiz is feeling jealous, so we'll send something general over to her so that she's happy. Rona Ann accepted our friend request, which is good. That means we're going to get a plus 10. That'll make us a little bit better. Having written on her timeline to try and fix things up. And can I help her out with anything? It doesn't look like any of her posts are going to be relevant. So I'll back off that. I'm going to spend the rest of my day just kind of putting things on people's Facebooks, trying to be friendly here. Don't like your own status. That's a terrible idea. The game doesn't like it when you like your own status. Well, like what Astra said, we got another friend request accepted too, so that's helping us out. As you can see, our charisma is trucking along nicely. We don't have a lot of money at the moment. We should probably eat at some point.
Someone is reading your recent Facebook post.
Okay, so Kunbiz got a +2. Okay, good. So we're back on good terms with her. So as you can see, we got ourselves out of the red right there. And there's still nothing that I want to like on her Facebook post. I typically spend the first couple days just liking Facebook posts and kind of being friends with people. I'm going to like my boss's status because I'm a giant brown noser, and I don't care how much brown is on my nose. I'm just going to leave it that way. And then with Rona Am, we'll go ahead and like her status too. We're now out of action, so we'll go on into the next day. And I think I'm going to talk about the pros and cons now. A new message from Besley Busher, or whatever his name is. Oh, okay, so this is the storyline right here. There is a time limit to the game, so you have 160 days to do what you're going to do. I'm not going to spoil it. I will say that I've pretty much played through and had a good time with it. You can almost max out your career before you even get to a day 100 if you really plan it out and kind of manage your time well. But in any case, the pros of this game are that it is kind of unique. I've never seen a social/life management sim that shows itself off in such a fashion, and honestly, it's really, really addictive. If you're into Facebook or any type of social media, you'll probably have a lot of fun with the game. The game is kind of an acquired taste. It's one of those things that I don't see everybody liking. I think some people are definitely going to see this game and be like, it's super stupid, because there's not a lot of action, there's not a lot of things going on, and at its core, this is a game about planning what you're doing each day to make sure that you're leveraging all of your skills against, like, the job that you want. We did our job very, very poorly right there. Other positives, the game seems to be like relatively bug-free. I haven't seen anything kind of fall apart on me just yet. There's been no crashes. Everything has worked the way it's intended. The game is a little RNG-y, so random stuff happens every now and again, and sometimes it can feel a little bit frustrating when you've set up like a huge amount of time in getting people to be friends with you and then making sure that everything's where it needs to be, and then finding out that, say, the boss that you're applying for a job with is a racist. And at that point you're like, oh damn it, so what do I do there? In the cons column, I would say that the game, as I said, is an acquired taste. Not everybody's going to like this game. This is a game that's like The Sims, which is really going to polarize people. The other thing that I would say is the game is $19.99 right now, which is a little expensive for what you get. I would reckon you'll probably get about 5 to 8 hours out of the game before you're just like, alright, I've seen what there is to see, I don't really feel like playing anymore, and I'm out. So aside from it being one of those unique games that's going to divide people into two camps, and being a little bit expensive, I think this game is pretty fun. It's one of those things where on Weekly Indie Newcomer, I tend to pick games that I really, really like. This week, it's not that case. I'm just kind of covering an indie game this week, and I may actually addend the rules to Weekly Indie Newcomer because there haven't been enough games for me to review. So in any case, in my review, I'd probably say that this game is definitely for those who like social media and also kind of management aspects of things and aren't really drawn in by the Michael Bay explosions, or at least those sorts of things are not the requirement of their gameplay. If indeed you're looking for a lot of action-packed gaming, this is probably not going to be where to look. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here at the Nerd Castle for another episode of Weekly Indie Newcomer. I look forward to seeing you all next week. Take care out there, everybody. If you want to get the game, it is by The Tiniest Shark. You can get it through Steam and other mediums. Take care, everybody. I will see you next time.